is somebody with the word of a song. If I can show somebody that they're traveling long, that my living shall not, who it shall not be in vain. If I can do my duty as a good Lord, if I can bring back the beauty to the world, to this world I'm living in the world. If I can spread that special message that the master taught, then my living shall not, oh Lord, it shall not be in vain. Then my living shall not be in vain. Then my living shall not be in vain. Oh Lord, if I can help, any way I can, if I can help somebody as I travel, alone, yes, then my living shall not, it shall not be in vain. Yeah, Lord, I thank you, Lord.
Divine Mother, Divine Father, ultimate intelligence, divine allness and isness, God of our weary years, God of our silent tears, God of our joy and God of our peace. We thank you. We thank you for this life that we've come to celebrate. We thank you for the legacy of love. We're so grateful for this family, for all of the friends and loved ones that have come to surround them, and for those that have come to celebrate this life, and to lift her up before you. We're so grateful because although this may be a difficult season, we understand that you are the God of every season of our lives, and you will carry us from glory to glory. We're so grateful because, God, you are the lover of our souls. You are the one that comforts us, that gives us joy, that gives us peace when we need it most. And right now, we'd like to declare in this space that it is okay for us to mourn. It is okay for us to give space and room and energy to every emotion, every feeling of sadness that we might feel in the days, weeks, months, and even years to come. But we also give room for the joy and the laughter as we remember this life and as we celebrate, as we turn on music, as we look at the smile of a child, as we look in a garden, we will be reminded of her. And we're so grateful that those beautiful things will remind us of this beautiful life. Thank you because when we look at the ocean, when we look at the rivers and the lakes, when we sit on a beach, we will think of her. And we're so grateful for this life, this legacy of love that we will carry forward. And we're so grateful for all that will surround the family as they progress. Surround them, surround us with your angels of comfort, your angels of peace, and remind us that it's imperative that we live a full life, and that we do so with purpose, with joy, with laughter, and with music as a soundtrack. We're so grateful to be here today. Now be with us in this celebration and be with us in the days to come. In the name of Jesus the Christ and all things holy and righteous, we declare Ashe and Amen.
This is my season for grace, for favor. This is my season to reap what I have sown. Haven't been perfect, but I sure been faithful. God's got a purpose, and I know He's able. I've got a seed in the ground that His blessing, no more stressing. I've got a seed in the ground, and I know Him, I can show Him. Hey, this is my seed for grace, for God's favor. beside the still water. He restoreth my soul, and He leadeth me into the path of righteousness for His name's sake. And yea, though I walk through the valley, in the shadows of death, I will fear no evil, for Thou art with me. Thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me. Thou preparest a table before me in the presence of mine enemies. Thou anointest my head with oil, my cup runneth over. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life, and I shall dwell in the house of the Lord forever and ever and ever. I'm gonna dwell forever. I will dwell, yes, I will dwell forever. Yes, I will dwell. In the house of my Lord, in the castle of my King, in the hands of my Heavenly Father, I will dwell. I will dwell. Yeah, 'cause my Father is rich with houses and land. He holds the whole world in the palm of His hand. I'm gonna dwell. I'm gonna dwell. I will dwell. I will dwell. I will dwell forever and ever. Yes, I will get my robe, get my crown. I'm gonna dwell forever, forever and ever. Amen.
John 14 says, "Let not your heart be troubled. If you believe in me, when peace like a river attendeth my way, when sorrows like sea billow that it is well. It is well with my soul. When peace like a river attendeth my way, when sorrows like sea billow roll, whatever my lot, thou hast taught me to say that it is well, it is well with my soul. It is well with my soul, for it is well, with my soul. Oh, for it is well with my soul. For it is well, it is well with my soul. Yes, say yes. Ooh, yes. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Yes. Yes, Lord. Yes, Lord. Oh, yes, Lord. Yes, yes, Lord. Yes, Lord. Yes, Lord. It is well with my soul, for it is well. It is well with my soul.
Pierre was my niece, my sister's oldest daughter, and I loved her from the moment she was born, and every day of her life she showed me love. She was an enthusiastic person with a zest for life. Seems that she came in the world wanting to get on with her life, enthusiastic about education, working hard, taking extra classes, graduating early so that she could get on to college and get out of there and get on with her life. Marrying young and having children young, seems that she just wanted to, seems she knew where she was going and wanted to get there. I admired so much about her. I admired the kind of person she was in terms of how loving and how honest she was. There was no deceit in her. Some of you young people would say she was straight up. There was never any doubt about where you stood with her. I loved the way she raised her children, the way she handled her household, her husband, her kids, providing them with opportunities so that they would have an interest in life that she would be pleased with. Seems to me that she also had her own values and was confident in them, was not swayed by anybody else's opinion. I just admired her in every way. There was nothing that I would have wanted to have been different. I'll miss her so much, but I appreciated how, as I grew older, she still wanted to have my company. She would invite me to go to jazz concerts with her, and I thought at the time, does she want me as old as I am in her? But she seemed to want my company. I was always grateful, and I will always remember her with love and remember the love she showed to me.
Can't you feel her in the house, ladies and gentlemen? Can't we feel Miss P in the house? Give it up, please, give it up. For all you beautiful people here this evening, it just shows a lot to celebrate this fantastic sister. What is a friend? A person who one knows and whom has a band of mutual affection and respect for. I'm wearing this hat because the last time I saw Pia, she said, when are you going to take me horseback riding? So P, I'm riding this horse for you today. Good afternoon, everyone. To the Almond family, to her sister. I, like all of you, are here to help celebrate a life well lived of our friend Pia Ahmad. I'm Terrain Johnson, and I was told by the eldest child that I only had 2 minutes, and I looked at her and said, like, real? So it might take me about 5 minutes to get through what I need to do, but I hope you bear with me. Question: could anyone wear an afro like Pia? I used to call her back in the day Angela Davis, and some of you know who I'm talking about. She was a sister, spelled S-I-S-T-A, a beautiful black woman who was and still is an awesome partner to her man, a nourishing mother to her children, and a great teacher and second mother to many young children who might be in attendance today. Every spring for the past 35 years, I would give Pia a call. Her response was, hey, when you coming over? When I got to her door, rang the bell, she'd open the door, and with that beautiful smile and beautiful afro, she'd holler, what's up? Come on in and see my little babies. Some just weeks old, drinking tea, eating fruit, and helping to change Pampers at Pia's place. I'll miss those spring days being with Pia. We had a great, great love for each other. And as I'm getting ready to close, I think I have about 2.5 minutes left. There's a song that says a lot about my feelings and maybe some of your feelings about Pia. And it's called Goodbye, My Friends by Linda Ronstadt. Okay, tell you what, cut it off, I'll read it. Let me read it, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, we never know where life will take us, and we never know when death will shake us, and we wonder how it would feel. So goodbye, my friend. I know I will see you again, but the time together through all the years will take away the tears. It's okay now. Goodbye, my friend. I've seen a lot of things that make me crazy, and I guess I held on to you too long. You could have run away and left, well, maybe, but it wasn't time, and we both knew. A life so fragile, a love so pure, we can't hold on, but we try. We watch how quickly time disappears, and we never know why. But it's okay now. Goodbye, my friend. You can go now. Goodbye, my friend.
Good afternoon. Is it on? Good afternoon. I'm Pamela Johnson.
Tracy Hatch.
I'm Kamika Freeman, Carrie's mom.
I'm Paige's mom.
Oh, we left out that part. And I'm Mia and Chase's mom.
Mama Pierre has been a very instrumental part of our lives. I have to thank Tracy for introducing me to her. From 3 months to almost 3 years, Mama Pierre took care of my one and only child. And my life has changed because of her being in it. I can't thank the family enough for sharing her with us, allowing us to enjoy the love that she not only gives her children, but our children as if they're hers. She was truly, truly a blessing to us. Life won't be the same, but the blessing in all of this is she certainly gave us so many memories for us to move forward with and for our children to grow and learn from the lessons that she taught them. I'm a better person because of her. I'm a better mother because of her. I'm a better friend because of her. And the three of us would like Mr. Orman, Jamila McKesey, and Shauna to come forward, please.
The three of us got together and contacted our Mama Pierre's alma mater, North Carolina A&T State University, and started an endowed scholarship in her name, and we're going to read it for you all. It says endowed scholarship gift agreement between Kamika Freeman, Tracy Hatch, Pamela Johnson, and North Carolina Agricultural and Technical State University. The donors commit $25,000 to the Pierre Wright Ormond Endowed Scholarship to provide scholarships for qualified students as defined in this agreement. The gift will be used to establish the Pierre Wright Ormond Endowed Scholarship at North Carolina A&T State University. The scholarship shall be open to all applicants, regardless of race, color, religion, sex, national origin, citizenship, disability, age, or veteran status, subject to the following criteria. Recipient must be an undergrad student currently enrolled at or admitted to attend the university. Recipient must demonstrate sustained successful academic performance with at least a 3.0 grade point average. Preference will be given to students who are residents of the South area, Washington, D.C., who have community involvement and play a musical instrument. Recipients holding the scholarship in 1 year will not be automatically renewed in subsequent years and must have a demonstrated financial need in their obligation to the university.
How beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Moving forward with the next tributes from Kamika Freeman, and a special tribute representing extended family that could not make it due to the weather, read by Sister Marlene.
I'll share a few brief words. Mama Pierre was truly a force to be reckoned with. As a sole parent of an active little boy without any immediate family in the area, Mama Pierre meant the world to me. I am truly grateful for all that she poured, the love that she poured into Carrie, the love that she poured into all of the families that she took care of. We are truly blessed beyond measure. And Mama Pierre's place wasn't an ordinary daycare. I think it was really more of a ministry for her, because I think it was really her true calling to love on and nurture kids. It's kind of like it was an unwritten rule that when you started the daycare, you became a member of the family. And a part of the package came Boom Boom and the whole entire family. So we are truly grateful. We feel that Mama Pierre really adopted all of us as her own. And I know that I am forever changed and will always keep Mama Pierre in my heart and honor her in all that I do. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Marlene, and I'm from Portland, Oregon, and I met Pierre in Portland when she moved there back in the early 70s or mid 70s. She was a dear friend of mine, and I loved her a lot. And I'm here because good friends of hers, they couldn't make it. A good friend, a lot of you may know her by Jane, Ola, or Dolly. She lives here in DC, but her flight was canceled and her daughter's flights were canceled as well. And I know that I was here one year and I told Pierre that I was thinking about moving back to DC or back to the East Coast. I used to live in New York and I was looking in the Northwest side. She was like, the Southeast is cool. And I stayed with her, and I remember Mia and the little boy, I'm not sure of his name, but we went out on a walk and we went in the neighborhood and looked at houses, and she was really like adamant with trying to help me to get back here to the East Coast. But I do have something to read from 3 people that were very dear to her. The first one is from Chinua. She's in San Francisco, and she sent this because her flight was canceled to get here. What can you say about a woman who helped raise me to be empowered and brave? Mama Pierre was a powerful force, and she was always loving. She wanted all of us, her children, to know our full potential. She wanted us, her children, to know how loved we all were. She wanted us, her children, to go into the world dancing and full of confidence that we were smart, powerful, and beautiful. Part of who I have become today as a mother, sister, daughter, and wife is due to Pierre's influence. I continue to dance and celebrate her life today, and as I raise my son with the same confidence and bravery still instilled in me, we are all powerful beyond measure, and that is something I know she would want us to leave here today knowing. Please smile and celebrate her true joyous and loving spirit today. Mama Pierre, I miss you and love you immensely. Although the weather kept us from being with you all today, I will carry Mama Pierre's spirit and guidance with me always. Love, Hallie. I thought that was from Chinua. I'm sorry, that was from Hallie. And this one is from Chinua. There isn't a time in my memory when Mama Pierre wasn't a hug a part of my identity. I am not, in fact, related to the Osmonds by blood, but we are family nonetheless. And that fact alone sums up Pierre's influence on my life, and I suspect that applies to many others in the room. Pierre taught me how to turn friends into family, and I don't say that casually. About 35 years ago, Pierre invited my mom, dad, sister, and me into her family's life, and we've been holding on to each other ever since. I recall countless meals together, parties together, and quiet moments together, reflecting on life's challenges and its abundant blessings. And as her spirit whirls its way across this country, sending winds and rains and floods and snow that has forced me to stay here in San Francisco and my mom and sister to stay in Dallas. It also gives me a chance to reflect on Pierre's strength It's a reminder that even though she's not here with us physically, she is always here with us spiritually. We feel you, Mama Pierre, and we are grateful for all that you've taught us about motherhood. About motherhood and sisterhood and how to do the beautiful work turning friends into family. I promise to honor your legacy by holding tight to your family no matter, I'm sorry, my phone was going off, no matter the family, no matter the distance, and no matter the time. I love you. And that is from Chinua, and this is from her sister friend Ola. To my sister and another to my sister from another mother, I was blessed and honored to have met you and have you as a friend. We, Hallie, Chinua, and Randy, would have not have thrived in Portland had it not been for you. No words can explain how powerful, how painful this has been for us to not be able to be there to celebrate your life. May your spirit live in all of our grandchildren's lives. Please rest in power, my sister friend, Ola. Thank you, and thank you for allowing me to share Pierre a part of my life as well.
This is a letter that I wrote to Mama Pierre. Dear Mama Pierre, as I look back, I think about all the great memories we shared. The hugs, the kisses, the laughs, and our trips to Trader Joe's. I remember being excited to come over for the oatmeal, honeydew, cantaloupe, and the smoothies. I remember our walks to the park, CVS, and Subway. We took our trips to the zoo, and we even went to the jazz set at the church on some Friday nights. I remember just being so happy to see you. I miss you so much, and I wish I could see you one last time to tell you that I love you. Thank you for everything. Love, Mia.
And we will conclude our special tributes with Jamila, and then finally Jasper.
Good evening, everyone. I want to begin by thanking you all for being here. I'm not sure there's any greater tribute to my mom than seeing so many people gathered in one space to celebrate her life. My mother was magical and musical, and hopefully that is reflected in tonight. So many of you have said so many kind things about her, and she really was amazing. And in addition to all of the things that have been said already, my mother was also a fierce protector of her children. And the time that I recall really understanding that was in the 5th grade. We had just moved to DC. It was my first experience in a DC public school, and I was sitting in class, and I was talking to my classmate beside me. And my teacher, I guess, wanted me to be quiet, and the only thing he could think to do was to throw a staple remover and hit me in the back of the head. And I was stunned, and I raised my hand and asked to be excused. I need to go to the bathroom. So I left the class, and I walked right past the bathroom, straight to the office, and I told the principal that I needed to call my mom. And I told her what happened, and she hung up the phone. And I sat down in the office, and as I suspected, less than 10 minutes later, my mother showed up at the school. And she took me by the hand, and she walked me back upstairs to my 5th grade class. She called the teacher in the hall, and she started to have a conversation with him, where she did most of the talking. But she made it pretty clear that he needed to find another way to communicate with me. And after that day, I never had another problem from another teacher for the rest of my career in DC public schools. And I was there through the 12th grade. Because moving forward, the conversations would take place at the beginning of the school year, where she would let them know who she was, who we were, and what her expectations were. And my mother was engaged. She believed in parent engagement in the schools, and she was an advocate. And of all the teachers that I've ever had, she was by far the greatest. We will miss her, and we loved her greatly. And I am grateful for the time and every single lesson that she shared with all of us. thank you all again for being here.
Good evening. My children thought I could do this, and I'm going to give it a try. Pierre and I had 42 wonderful years together, and I was thinking during those 42 years, did I have any regrets? And I could not come up with any regrets. Pierre was extremely intelligent, but it was not a nerdy kind of intelligence. Pierre had an edginess about her. After a while, she told me it was a Southeast thing, right? But that edginess made sure all of my children got the best education that was possible, as Mila talked about, right? And all of them today are college graduates. And I contribute that directly to Pierre's involvement in their educational process. She was there every year, negotiating, making sure they got the very best education possible. That was both in Portland, Oregon, and Washington, D.C. During those 42 years, I first began to be a buddy to Pierre. We were at A&T together. We moved from being a buddy to actually being very good friends. I went in one direction after graduation. She went in another direction, but we continued to communicate. We then also decided that we were really going to try to be husband and wife, right, which was sort of a new dynamic for us, right? But beyond being a husband and wife, she also said we would make a commitment to family because she was very committed to family. And that commitment to family meant that we would try very hard to make sure our children got the very best they could possibly get. And not only biological families, but surrogate families also. And it was very interesting because our firstborn, Jamila, Pierre was so maternal that she didn't have any labor pains, right? That's how maternal she was, that we were laying down one morning, on Sunday morning, she got up, went to the restroom, and she called me. She said, come in here and check this out. When I walked in the restroom, Jamila had already crowned, right? So that was my introduction to family. That was my introduction to fatherhood. That was her introduction to motherhood, right? And from that point forward, we just moved forward because that was the dynamic, that was the magic that she had, right? Pierre also became a reflector because after 42 years, there are some up times and there are some down times, right? And through that process, once you make the commitment, then we had to become reflectors of each other. If I'm down, she could reflect the best of who I am. When she was down, I reflected the best of who she was, right? That's how that process worked. And over 42 years, you learn a lot about folks, their ups and their downs, the disposition of their hearts, right? And I saw her when she would read a newspaper and a young kid had been abused, she would cry. I saw her when an elderly person had been abused, she would cry. And it would be a silent cry, but it really taught me the disposition of her heart. The other thing that I found was so amazing about Pierre, and she had so many amazing kinds of attributes, is that as we really began to engage each other, engage the children, engage the family, Pierre really began to be an awesome reflector all the time. And it reached the point that she kind of understood what I needed. And that comes with time. You don't get that the first year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years. It takes some time to get to that piece, that you really are so connected that you understand what a person's need. And I thought about the last 4 interactions I had with her because her death was very sobering. And in those times, you sort of stop and you really want to think about the last time you saw her, the last words you said to her. Were those words positive? And I remember 2 weeks ago, I had gone to get her some food. And she had a very critical mind, a very analytical mind. And the food had onions in it. Well, I missed the whole message around the onions, right? So I watched her take all of those onions out of that food as we began to eat. Well, 2 weeks later, she wanted that same order. This time, I watched them put that food in that order, right, to make sure there were no onions, right? And that was the last meal we ate together, right? That I made absolutely sure there were no onions in that food, right? That memory I will carry, but I will carry it from the perspective that those last 4 interactions were very positive interactions, right? And I have many, many positive interactions, but for some reason I've been focused on the last 4. And I say to you in her memory, be careful about the last 4 interactions that you have, right? Whoever it may be, right? because you never know the time. You never know the place, right? We had a wonderful meal that night before, and that next morning she had gone, right? So all I had to hold on to was the memory that those last 4 interactions were positive interactions, right? Be careful, be thoughtful, love people. Because Pierre taught me unconditional love, right? After 42 years, if you stay together, you learn to look past anything that you think was negative, and you learn to love, right? That's what she represented, love. Love for family, love for friends, love for community. She loved food, she loved family, she loved friends. And I want you to stay with us tonight. We have food to really demonstrate her love. We have music to demonstrate her love. But again, thank you so much. The cards, the calls, the food, those things touched us, it touched my family, and we will always be grateful to you. Thank you so much.
What a beautiful tribute. What a wonderful message of mindfulness and unconditional love. At this time, we want to invite in this order a selection by Tia Singleton, and then a special message of love by Reverend Anika Wilson Brown from Union Temple Baptist Church.
Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. I need to ask something of you. If Mama Pierre means something to you and you want to celebrate her life, you've been sitting for a minute, can we just stand and give a rousing, loud, come on, clap your hands, let's celebrate this life. Come on, let's celebrate the life of this beautiful woman. That feels good. Come on, put some more claps in it. Put your mouth on it, open your mouth and say yes. Let's celebrate, raise the energy in the room. Yes, yes, thank you, thank you. Thank you for that moment. Thank you for that moment. I want to first say thank you and give love to the family and bring love on behalf of my parents who are the friends and neighbors of the Ormond family, Reverend Willie Wilson and Reverend Mary Wilson, who could not be here, but they send their love to you all and want to surround you and embrace you with their love and prayers. And so I bring that to you on their behalf. I also want to say that everything that I'm going to say tonight is said from the posture of a daughter. If you know anything about our community, you know that everybody's mama is your mama or your auntie. Come on, talk back to me up in here. And so Jamila is like a sister to me. She grew up with my baby who did such a great job in facilitating this evening. Can you give a hand to her? Thank you so much for your positive energy. And so everything that I say tonight will be said from that context of love. And I gotta offer a disclaimer. First of all, I hope y'all didn't come here looking for some regular old service. Because you can't have no regular old service for an extraordinary woman. You got to celebrate. And so she even told the family, she said, I want celebration in my honor. When I make my transition and leave this earthly realm, I want there to be a celebration. I want there to be a party. I want there to be energy and love and dancing in the room, because that's what Mama Pierre loved. That's who she was. That's who she continues to be. And so as we gather tonight, we gather in that vein and in that energy to celebrate. And so as we move forward in that, we bring the energy, we bring the vibrancy. We're gonna dance and you're gonna hear music and we're going to celebrate the love. But I asked Jamila, I said, what was Mama Pierre's favorite song? Anybody got an idea? I said, what was the song that she loved? Like she would love it. Jamila said, it was a song that said, let it go. Don't let this thing called love get away from you. Anybody know what I'm talking about? She said, I wouldn't change my life. My life's just fine. 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 I wouldn't change my life. My life just fine. No time for moping around. Are you kidding? And no time for negative vibes because I'm winning. And so as we have this conversation, this brief conversation as we talk about her transition from this earthly realm into the spiritual realm, we have to talk about the fact that love never dies. That love continues to live and that love will never die. That love is the foundation of Pierre's life. Everybody just take a deep breath in right now. Just breathe and exhale it out. And feel the love, the strength, the grace in this room. The love of the strong, black, magical woman that we celebrate on today. Love is divine. Love is powerful. Love is unwavering energy. Love is universal. Love keeps you and guides you, but love can't protect you from pain. Love can't protect you from pain, but love can heal your pain. I gotta tell you a story. I'm the parent of twin boy and girl, Naila and Najee. And Naila, she's very tender-headed. She doesn't like to get her hair combed. Anybody know about that? You got a tender-headed little girl, or niece or nephew? Yeah, my daughter, she's so tender-headed. She doesn't like getting her hair combed. And every time I have to comb it, I dread it, y'all. But her twin brother, one time we were getting together, and I have to gather and prepare her and say, all right, Naila, we're going to shampoo your hair. I got to get her ready and help her get her mind right, you know. And as I'm getting her ready, I noticed that her twin brother, he was preparing something too. He was getting stuff together. And so as I sat her down in between and I began to do her hair, he sat right beside her. And I noticed that he would pull out her favorite book. He would pull out her favorite toy. He had an arsenal full of snacks that every time the pain began to get to her, he would offer her something to make her calm down. And so at the end, I noticed, I said, she did flinch a little bit, but she didn't cry like she normally would. And at the end, I said, oh, it must not have hurt like it normally does, because you just sat there and did such an excellent job. It must not have hurt. She said, no, it hurt. He just made it better. He made it better because he sat with me. He comforted me. He sang with me. He gave me something to help me in my moment. And so we come tonight not because the pain is going to go away, but just because we needed somebody to sit with us. Just because we needed somebody to sit beside us, to soothe and make it a little better. And so that is the life that we are here to celebrate. The love that heals, the love that will help you in your most difficult time. And I'm almost done, but I have to tell y'all one thing. As I was preparing, I was trying to figure out, I said, what can I say? And every time I'm feeling overwhelmed and I don't know what to say or what to do, I always go to the water. Anybody else go to the water? The water is your sanctuary. I can't see you, but let me hear you. Okay, I go to the water because the water is my sanctuary. And so I went to the water, and this time I found myself standing on a pier with the water in front of me and the land behind me. Now I gotta offer another disclaimer. I'm the daughter of a preacher and a preacher myself. And so every now and then inanimate objects start talking to me. Don't think I'm crazy. Animals, inanimate objects, they start talking to me. And don't think I'm crazy. But I was standing there on the pier. Now, as I was asking God, I said, what am I supposed to say? What do I need to say? How can I demonstrate and communicate the love of Mama Pierre and help them feel the message that you want them to have? And as I was standing there asking God, I heard a voice say, I need to tell you something. I have something to share with you about Mama Pierre. I said, well, who's talking? Who is it that's talking? And what do you have to say? I looked at the birds, and the birds wasn't talking. I looked around, and I saw people, but nobody was talking to me. And so I said, who's talking to me? And the voice said, I'm the pier that you're standing on, but I'm going to tell you some lessons about Mama Pierre. I said, oh, okay. The pier started talking to me, and the pier said, I need you to know something. The first thing I need you to know is that even though I'm always present, some people don't realize that I'm their support system. Even though I'm always here, because I'm so consistent and I'm so faithful and I'm so loving and I'm so always being present, that there are some that don't even realize that I'm the one that's been there all the time. The peer said that I'm right here all the time. I have strong support beams to hold me up so that other people can have a better vantage point, so that they can see stuff that they wouldn't be able to see. I said, that might be a lesson in how Mama Peer operates, in the way that she supports those young children and supports her family and supports the community and gives us all platforms to stand up on so that we can have a better vantage point of what's around us. The peer said, but that ain't it, that ain't it, that ain't it. I'm also a bridge between worlds. I'm a connector. You see how you see the water in front of you and the land behind you? I am a bridge that connects, I'm the bridge that allows you to experience the water, but also experience the firmness of the earth. I'm a connector. And I said, that reminds me of the way that Mama Peer would bring people together, the way that she had the vision to study and become a doula and learn how to help women as they brought babies into the world, how she was a connector, how she was in human form but spiritual in everything she did. Spiritual, but wrapped up in flesh. And then the bridge said, I got one more thing to tell you. The peer said, I got one more thing to tell you. I said, what you got to tell me, peer? The peer said, this might remind you of Mama Peer too, because I'm resilient. There are waves that beat upon me. I have moments where people walk on me, but you also will notice that there are children playing, that there is music playing, that there's a couple over there hugging, that there are families gathering. And so even though everything in my life has not been perfect, I have been able to overcome. I have been able to be resilient. So those are the three things about the love of Mama Peer that I learned on the pier on that day. That you can survive, that you can overcome no matter what you're going through, and that the love that you show to other people, to uplift them, to encourage them, to support them, will live even after your presence has transcended. Let's put our hands together and just thank God for this life and for this family. Amen.
And now we are transitioning into the other portion of the celebration. We're going to call forward someone that's going to call the tables. You guys, okay. Let's put our hands together again for Reverend Anika Wilson Brown and for this wonderful first half of this celebration. It feels good in here.
Just a reminder, the buffet is 2 lines. The buffet is 2 lines. Ladies and gentlemen, please allow me to call your table number. The buffet is slightly overwhelmed at the moment. If you could please allow me to call your table number.